I want to start getting a little healthy here with these recipes, and all these ingredients are good for you and tasty and combined delicious. I'm gonna make a miso soup with shrimps, fresh bean sprouts, fresh mushroom, whatever kind of mushroom you like, fresh ginger and garlic, and celery, carrots, scallion onions, and red pepper. You could add other items too, but I wanted to keep it down. I hope it's not too much. You know, once you put these things together, they start to increase in size. And I'm going to saute certain of the items first in roasted peanut oil. It's so flavorful. And then we'll continue. And the miso I'm using is the mellow white. I just like it. The red and the brown, they're very strong. And this is mild. Well, let's saute the items, and then we're going to add water. You could add fish stock if you wanted to, since it's seafood, or if you had seafood stock. So we're going to get the items in there that have to be sauteed, which are the onions and the celery. This will only take a couple of minutes. We're sweating these vegetables to get all the flavor out of them. And the champignons, the carrots, the garlic, the pepper, and the bean sprouts. And we'll raise the flame, give this a couple of minutes, and what we're adding at the very end is the shrimps and the scallions. You don't want to overcook the shrimps, and they only take, what, 2 minutes to cook in the soup. And the miso. The miso is added, and the soup will never boil after the miso is added, because you lose all of the nutritional value. And this is what I read when I was doing it wrong for years. And I've been having this soup in my refrigerator for 10-15 years already. So as you read, you learn. Nobody knows everything. So now I add the miso at the very end. And also whatever salt and pepper at the very end also, because the miso does have salt. Geez, I wouldn't mind taking this right here after it's sauteed, because that garlic and ginger and the peanut oil smells, what an aroma. Cook a piece of chicken and throw this all over it. Sweat it up good. And now we're going to get, I'm going to add 1 quart of cold water to that, because you don't use hot water when you're cooking. Don't ask me to explain why. There are certain things that I read, been told, and the reasoning has slipped my mind, but I still do it. So this is not going to take long at all. It will take until the carrots and the celery, which are the hardest items in there, are a little bit tender. If you like them al dente, you proceed at that point. If you like them soft, so a little bit more. So high flame, put the water, and just let that cook. So that's a quart of water, and I think that soup will be perfect. It'll reduce just a little bit, because when the soup starts to boil, I'm going to lower it and let it simmer. I'm also going to use some tamari. I like this better than just plain soy sauce. So I'm going to put a teaspoon in there, and just going to add a drop of hot sauce later. I like cayenne pepper, black pepper, hot sauce, like I said. So that, whatever taste you like. Now traditionally, this soup is clear like this and thin. So I'm going to do something which is never done. I'm going to give this soup a little body. And why am I going to do that? Because I like it, when it's thicker, it just lays on your tongue longer. So you can enjoy the flavor. That's the only reason. So now, this has been boiling for about 10 minutes. So what do you want to do? You want to just taste it now and see if all those flavors are melding together. I get the ginger, the garlic, the vegetable needs a little bit more, and it needs salt. But you know what? You hold up because the miso has sodium in it. So, and also, you have to make up your mind now. You could put wonder in there, which it won't be clear anymore. Or you can make a simple little, take a tablespoon of cornstarch, a tablespoon of water, and with your finger mix them together in a little cup. And at this point, drizzle it in slowly as you move the soup like this. And watch what happens. It'll get a little bit thicker, and just go easy with it when you're adding it. Just add half of the amount that I said, because that 1 tablespoon of cornstarch should do the trick on this amount. And then everything will float evenly in there. Nothing should really sink to the bottom. So I'm not going to thicken it because traditionally that's not done. So we're going to make it like this. I'm going to wait a few more minutes, let the flavors really cook in there. I don't want to rush things. Now I was looking for another item which I don't have any longer. You could throw like a teaspoon, a tablespoon of bonita flakes in here also for flavor. Now I know this is not the way they make it in a Japanese restaurant, because I've had it in a Japanese restaurant in the past 30 years. The soup is delicate, nice, tasty. A few pieces of tofu in there, you know, mild, soft tofu, and little scallions. Very nice, but I like heavy items in the soup to build it up. It's almost like a meal instead of being just clear soup with flavor. Now that everything is tender, we'll add the shrimps. And after about another minute, then we're going to add the miso. Shut it off and add the miso. Once you put shrimps in boiling water, they only take about a minute. Especially these small shrimps. And then we'll add the scallions, and the soup will be finished. And then we'll just taste it to make sure that it's seasoned correctly. Oh, you could throw scallops in there too if you'd like. Oysters, fresh oysters, if you're looking for the seafood. Octopus. I have to play with octopus because I've had it in so many different Japanese restaurants, and only a few times has it been tender. So I'm assuming you have to treat it like a clam. You just cook a clam slightly and it's juicy and tender. Too much, it's like rubber. Well, that's it. The shrimps are done because they're going to be sitting in this boiling water. And now we're going to add the miso. And we'll see what other adjustments we have to do. So we just shut it off. That's 1 tablespoon. Now I just did the wrong thing because in the past I would take some of the soup out, mix it with the miso, and it would blend easier than doing it like this, but it'll be alright. Well, I added some more tamari and a little sea salt, and this is enough here for 2 people except not enough shrimp, so I would double or triple the amount of shrimps that are in there, and you can have nice 2 bowls. So the last thing is the scallions, and we'll see how it appears in the soup plate. More solid stuff. Okay, not bad. It tastes pretty good. I'm not 100% thrilled about it, and mainly because the items that I put in there, especially one of them, the bean sprouts, they're very strong. So if you eliminate the bean sprouts, it'll come out a little better. But if you like bean sprouts, then leave them in. Enjoy.